got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night underneath the dark skies, forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no, now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe.
Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They took the form of a beast.
Got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no, now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe.
Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. They took the form of a beast. They took the form of a beast. They took the form of a beast.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Waylander Gaming. Tonight we've got a full team here in the commentating section. Well, it's the dynamic duo, the original duo, Scarp Skenkel and Waylander. Bro, how are you feeling tonight? And this first matchup, I'm going to say this, bro. This matchup is definitely finals worthy, bro. It's two very strong teams. They drew each other in the group stages, and oh, bro, I'm sure the viewers are in for a cracker of a match.
Yeah, usually you can tell pretty much which team is going to go in favorites into any particular matchup. I don't think this could be said to be true in this case. However, I think the coin toss is going to influence quite a bit here.
So Saint Dynasty won the coin toss, right? Opting to go for the second pick, giving Rutilant Sons the first pick. But looking at the bans, right? So Con coming in with his ban, banning out Xylong Nana. That's currently Con's meta bans. And Gigatron 5000 banning out the Hayabusa and the YSS. So good luck and have fun to both teams, and let's go. Let's get this first match up and running.
Right. This is where that bit of online chess begins
100%.
In this particular phase.
100%, bro. And I mean, if you're going to look at it right, straight off the bat, Con going with the unconventional draft. You know, a lot of people would say it's disrespectful, etc., etc. But banning out the Xylong and Nana is just pretty much a show of respect coming in from the side of Saint Dynasty, wanting to take the teams on in their strongest draft, if I can put it at that much.
Well, with the way we saw Nana being played in the IASF, right? Nana, bro. Nana is is deadly. Deadly mage.
Yeah, well, bro, I can promise you, yeah, that mid laner of SA or the Protea team didn't appreciate that Nana pick, or shall we say, the entire Protea team didn't really like that Nana pick. So, Rutilant Sons going with the Lancelot as the first ban, saying Dynasty, not banning out anyone. Bro, I'm gonna call it. We're going to see a Saber ban and a Eudora ban. I can promise you that much.
Interesting. Well, they say high risk, high reward, but we have seen how often those have turned around to bite people in the backside. So let's see what happens this time around.
Yeah, Gigatron, or shall we say Pops, banning out the Faza. Faza, she's very reliant on positioning, but Faza can do a lot of damage. So, my opinion, Faza is a very good ban, coming in from the side of Rutilant Sons. My question is, right, are they going to compete for the Kimi as a first pick, though?
Well, the question with Kimi right now is, I think it was Merlin who was asking me about the items, whether there's still some of the items are viable anymore. Like the glowing one, Sky Piercer were core items for Kimi. And since the update, we need to check, because I'll be honest, I haven't really investigated anything. Normally, whenever there's an update, I'll go and do the damage tests and calculations, but nothing this time around. So I think we'd have to see how viable Kimi is still going to be, because things change every time there's an update.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And especially now with the season coming to an end, right? And also the new Hero Sora going to be released shortly. Bro, I believe we're going to see a meta change once more, as we usually do in Mlbb. Sekai picking up CC, Mimic going with his goat pick, picking up the R-Lord, and Circuit going with the Gatagacha. So CC is a very good pick, especially in the, well, potentially gold lane, XP lane. CC is a very, very good hero. But the question is, will the CC be able to compete against the R-Lord in the XP lane? Brody picking up Grok, and Miku picks up the Phobias. So that will be CC in the gold lane.
Yeah, I think it should be a CC gold lane. Phobius pretty decent at handling an R-Lot, but the question is, like, Mimic's R-Lot's quite strong. So it's a question of how Miku is going to handle the 90% of the time where you are in that 1v1 situation. What I'm liking about Saint's draft right now is actually the Gatto pick. So Gatto with Revitalize in the early game and combining it with the Joy, which is one of those very few assassins who is very strong in the early game. Once she gets that Electro Beats level 4, it's going to lead to, and I strongly suspect this from Saints' rotation, I'm going to expect them to go a bit aggressive very early on, before the first minute, in fact. I think we might be seeing the Arla try to rotate very quickly, so I'm suspecting they might try to with this composition, especially here with a Novaria. If they pick it up, right, it's going to be one of those early game invade comps. But would you really want to do that up against a Grok right now? He can change the course of how things go with that wall of his.
Yeah, especially if the wall is beautifully placed, bro. I mean, look, Grok, I've been playing Grok a lot lately, and I find him, those funnels. You used to talk about the funnels in the jungle. If you place the walls there, bro, there's no escape from those funnels. But yeah, bro, Rutilant Sun's going for a very tanky lineup, with the only MM being the Kimi, which will be in the mid lane, and Eisen picking up the Granger. So it's going to be Granger up against the CC. Ooh, 8 out of 10 times I'm going to favor the CC against the Granger in the gold lane, but bro, anything can play out. Jinx going for that Lunox.
This last pick coming through, if the Lunox is locked on, Lunox is ultra strong in the current meta. Designed, obviously, as we know, to deal HP-based damage, is there to be able to melt the front line coming through from Rutilant Sons. And, well, there's going to be a lot of pressure here on the CCs because somebody needs to have the mobility to bait out the Brilliance farm from Lunox. If you can do that, you can win those team fights, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Saints' drafts right now is looking on point.
Indeed, so bro. Yeah, Jasmine currently trolling me there in the chat saying, Scarp, you can't be biased. Jasmine, I am not you on the streams. I know you yet to support Rutilant Sons, but you are the admin of Saint Dynasty as well. So no, no biased opinions coming in from your side. Both love coming in for both teams. I'm just going to have to say Saint Dynasty, in my opinion, has got the better draft. But look, it ain't over till the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at drafts where the draft of Rutilant Sons is very early game centric. You got CC, Fulvius, Grok, Fred. These heroes thrive in the early game. Whereas the scaling is definitely on the side of Saint Dynasty. So the question is, if I would suspect Saint Dynasty is going to go for the more aggressive play, but would you really against such a strong early game composition? Even Kimmy dishes out the damage in the early game. Maybe we're going to see them play a little bit more passively. Who knows? As they are trying to get that lane equilibrium in their favor. Lots of damage coming out from Kimmy, however, avoids most of the trouble, dishing it out as once more. Yeah, we can see this is going to be a little bit of an aggressive play coming through. The jungle invades are already on Pox here, deciding to leave this. And so the rotation coming through from Kimmy and Grok there, I think, was a little bit premature, making that movement towards the gold lane.
Yeah, indeed. So you could see that Saint Dynasty was waiting for that Mage's rotation going to the gold lane to ensure that their aggressive play could be viable. But yeah, indeed, it's actually a Fulvius in the gold lane against the Granger, bro. This is looking for like a better lineup for Eisen in the gold lane than a CC.
Yeah. Agreed. Fulvius is going to get poked down, can't really get close to the Granger. I mean, look at the wave equilibrium right now on the gold lane. Eisen's just is zoning that wave, keeping it as close as possible, forcing Fulvius to overextend as the rest of Saints are trying to set up and rotate for his first blood. It's not going to be easy to get a Fulvius first blood, but he doesn't have the flicker away. He's going to get caught out. There's the Electro Beats. There's first blood. It's what I was saying throughout yesterday's stream. Wave management is the key to everything. So Eisen, simply by keeping the wave equilibrium closer to his side, just set up the first blood for his team.
Looking at the engagement here onto Mimic, bro, it was a 3v1 situation. It was looking very dire for Mimic, but being able to stun all three individuals up and being able to escape there and dish the damage. But yeah, let's see. The focus is on to Jinx at this moment. The first turtle of this match has spawned up. It's at the 2.5 minute mark. 1 kill advantage in favor of Saint Dynasty with 500 gold lead. Both teams are contesting for the top spot. Vengeance has been popped by the CC as the Electro Beats has been committed by the Joy, and this should secure the first turtle of the match in favor of Saint Dynasty. However, Jinx gets the kill onto Fulvius once more. Fulvius not having a splendid first time. AOG getting committed, however, it only lands onto the Natalia.
This rotation from the side of Saints very much on point. They're using a well-coordinated movement between all of the players here just to secure all of these neutral objectives. And with this scaling composition they have, this is going to prove to be difficult for Rutilant Sons going further into the match the longer this goes on.
You know, I want to say something, but I don't want to bring the Scarpy's curse onto Saints, but you know what? I'm just going to take the risk and say it, bro. Normally, you would see Rutilant Sons being the bullies, and it seems like early game, just before the 3 minute mark, it's Saint Dynasty bullying Rutilant Sons in their jungle.
Yeah, it's the current meta. If you take a look at all the pro teams right now, whenever you're playing, a lot depends on how you control that mid lane wave and then set up for these small camp invasions. It's been the meta actually for a very, very long time, almost a year. We're just very slow in our server to introduce it.
Very slow, bro. But yeah, that curtain call getting committed onto the Arlord and the Dawn coming in from Fredrin did the job onto Mimic. However, we do see Circuit getting caught out. The wall is up from Grok. However, Circuit is sustaining everything. He does pop the Revitalize just to sustain a little bit more. No kill in the jungle.
Yeah, there's the Avatar of Guardian coming in here. The control onto Fredrin. He doesn't have the Holy Stress. Oh, he does. He turns around. He drops your praises rap. That was a game-changing moment that comes in. It's a 3 for nothing. Oh, 3 for 1 exchange. Oh my goodness, what an appraiser's wrath. I thought he didn't have the stacks on it.
Bro, I couldn't see the stacks with all of that action happening onto the Fredrin. Yeah, but Fredrin, Fredrin being one of those junglers, being able to sustain a lot of damage, and then at the last minute bringing in that appraiser's wrath. So, yeah, bro, I mean, Fredrin still needs to be respected. However, we do see the engagement onto Phoveus, and Khan punishes Phoveus once more for that overextension.
Yeah, it's the matchup here. It's not favoring the Phoveus. He needs to have a little bit of breathing room, shall we say, to try and land those skills. There's Gato charging up, lands the taunt, and allows Saints to secure that objective. However, Brilliance Form being committed from the Lunox. She does have the Dark Ultimate, Avatar of Guardian. The player here is very, very spread. It's going to be the Electro Beats. The final slash coming through. They take down Sakai one more time. And with no real damage coming through from the side of Rutilant, they're going to have to retreat. They've lost 2 in this exchange, and the turtle as well.
Yeah, clutch turtle still coming in there from Con, bro. Just waiting for the right moment. And did you see that Avatar of Guardian landing onto the Phoveus, and he was still in the cloud?
Yeah. It happens there. That actually was all set up by the Gato. Circuit set up that particular objective being achieved. He knew what his job was. He charged up. He landed the taunt at just the right time. The jungle invade is continuing here. The final slash comes through. Nice taunt again. Once more from Circuit. The continuation of fight. But there's the curtain call onto 2 appraisers. We're dishing out the damage. Will this be a little bit too long? No, it's going to be Jinx who secures. Make sure that the kill count is going to be in favor of St. Dynasty. But what's really important for the side of St. Dynasty is the map control that they have at this current stage in the game.
Yeah, indeed. You do see the Lunox and the Gato getting that lane cut in the bot lane, so that would secure them the final tier 1 turret. I mean, St. Dynasty is putting a lot of pressure onto Rutilant Suns, right? So looking at just before the 7-minute mark, it is a 4.5k gold lead in favor of Saints, as well as a 3-kill advantage.
Yeah, so they've taken down actually all the level 1 turrets. So this is the stage in the game where we'll start to see how well the wave management is going to go from both teams. Rutilant Suns are on the back foot. They're going to have to prioritize farm to the Kimmy and what is CC building? And CC as well as their 2 main sources, of damage. It's all about the priority of farm. Oh, nice wall coming in from Grok. Forces the Brilliance Form. There's the Avatar of Guardian into the backline for Phoveus. Jumping around here as he's trying to get something set up for the team. What? With the... It's going to be Mimic just caught out. However, Phoveus, he was in deep, he was in no man's land. And Rutilant Suns taking advantage of the number advantage that they had. With this jungle invade, nice invade coming through here from Khan. He pops the Electro Beats, but he didn't have the full stack, so he's going to get CC'd up. But right now, he's going to be thinking to himself, I don't need the full stacks. I'm going to turn this around, but this appraiser's wrath. Oh my goodness. That battle could have went either which way.
Yeah, bro. It could have. Sorry, I was actually watching at the engagement onto the Gato, switching over to the Joy there. Bro, yeah, this is, look, this match, Saints should be careful, because this match can turn very quickly, as we do see the traction pulse from Kimmy lands onto 2, however, the AOG lands onto no one. Saints is trying to get a set, however, Mimic is not there. I mean, if you're looking at Mimic and the role that he's playing with this Arlord, he's waiting for the set to come in from the Gacha. Then he comes in with that final slash, that final sweep, just to add that extra stuns. So this combination of the Gacha and the Arlord working very beautifully in favor of Saints. But look, this match can still swing either way.
Yeah. it's this decision making that Return Sons have to deal with right now. They have some very powerful spells in their arsenal to deal with the team fight. The question is, can they protect the backline from Con on that Joy? So far, whenever he's not been in the team fight, they've been winning the team fights. When he is there, however, he's finding those beautiful angles to get into the backline to deal with the Kimmies most specifically. There's the Avatar of Guardian coming through. The Lord is up. And so that's going to be no Avatar of Guardian available while the Lord is in there. What nice pick-off play coming through from Khan. There's a final slash into the mix. However, Tectonic Charge comes through. The Revitalize from Gato on point. It's going to be the curtain call on to 2, but it says they've got what they wanted. That was the timing of that engagement there, specifically from Joy and the Gato Circuit and Con getting the pick-off and then that initiation very much on point.
Yeah, indeed so, bro. I mean, look, speaking of the backline, CC needs to take that backline role and ensure that the Kimmy is staying safe. Because ideally, you want the CC to either go for the split push like you saw now, or to go for that follow-up damage. But she needs to protect the Kimmy in this situation and not allow Joy to jump onto the Kimmy. Because I'm going to be honest, Gigatron 5000 is going to be the secret weapon for Rutilant Sons if they want to get the victory.
Yeah, the longer this game goes on, the more she's gonna come online. But I mean, it's not like Saints don't have a decent scaling comp. Granted, we know Joy doesn't always scale the best into the late game, but I mean, neither does Fredrin. He's just going to be a bit of a sponge here. Gato using that Avatar of Guardian defensively to try to get away. That minion caused a little bit of chaos, keeping the Lord from charging in a little bit earlier. But it's all hands to the pump right now for the side of Rutilant Sons. They've got the Holy Shields up at least on one of the lanes, which has been popped right now. Joy going in here, wants to try to get onto the CC. There's no real hard lockdown, but there's a Tectonic Charge in the back end. Phobius, he's trying to sustain through all of this, but Gato secures the kill. Kimmy trying to dish out the damage here, and it's just with just the Kimmy, it's so difficult just to get those pickups when the sets are in play.
Yeah, bro. I mean, Kimmy dealing a lot of damage there onto Saint Dynasty. Kimmy is currently keeping Saints very honest, but bro, what a beautiful chess play coming in there from Con. Keeping the CC very busy and allowing the minions to focus onto that tier 3 turret.
Agreed. So far, it's a CC is going for the hybrid build, which is why it's not really being able to dish out the damage to Joy. Personally, I would have just, like, if you want to try to defend this, maybe just pick up Radiant Armor. That's the best one to try to deal with a Joy, and then afterwards just go for damage.
Yeah, indeed so, bro.
But because CC, especially when she gets that curtain call going, she can out damage almost anybody.
She can, bro. I can't disagree with you there. That is why CC, in my opinion, is the XP laner, right? But yeah, bro, it's at that moment, bro. Looking at just before the 13-minute mark, the next Lord is up in the next 15 seconds. Saint Dynasty currently rocking with a 10k gold lead onto Rutilant Sons.
That's massive at this stage in the game. Though the waves are, I would say, especially with Mimic doing this here, he's not really doing what you'd expect, which is to freeze the lanes and push the lane opposite the Lord. That can give a little bit of gold to the side of the Rutilant Sons. I mean, that's what they're really lacking at this moment in time. If they can get their gold, their farm up and running, they have the ability to contest, and in between one major objective and the next, that's the time you want to try and starve a team out with, especially when you have map control.
Yeah, indeed so, bro. But oh my word, I nearly messed up there. But yeah, bro, this is going to come down to Rutilant Sons. Will they be? Oh, final slash coming in from Mimic. However, it's a mega kill for the Joy, and the Avatar of Guardian lands onto the Rutilant Sons just under the tier 3 turret. It's a double kill with that brilliance form coming in from Lunox, bro. It's a 2-for-3 exchange. It's still an ending angle here per se.
Yeah, especially with the R-Lot being available, he's gonna try to get onto everybody here. The Lord's still coming through. He's trying to create as much space as possible. He knows who to target. He goes in for the Kimmy. There's the setup. That should be game, set, match. GG's. And that, ladies and gentlemen, puts Saint Dynasty in the top spot in Group C. Bro, I thought this is going to be a little more balanced matchup, bro. I honestly, this it was pretty much a very strong force coming in from Saint Dynasty from start to finish. But yeah, Eisen picking up the MVP with that danger Granger for the side of Saint Dynasty. And well, it's quite expected for the CC to pick up the MVP for the team. Miku, GG's well played. Yeah, so I would say the macro from Saint Dynasty was what got them into the position that they were in. Players understanding how to control the lanes, moving as a unit when it came to that early game jungle invade. All these small little actions paid off in the end, which was fantastic to watch. Because one of the things that we noticed across our server for this last period in time is teams adapting to how macro plays work, like how important wave management is in order to achieve objectives. It's the setup before the kill. It's like taking aim before you fire, understanding how to control your lane.
Yeah, indeed. So, bro, I mean, I can't even, I can't even argue with that. That was well played. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly get you the pause screen up. We will be back in just a second. We're just waiting for that second lobby invite. We will be with you in just a moment. Don't go away. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home. Not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 Got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start aspiring. They're never tiring, no now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told.
swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They took the form of a beast.
Got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start aspiring. They're never tiring, no now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe.
Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. On to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. They took the form of a beast. They took the
Got some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe.
Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They took the form of a beast.
some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no, now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe.
Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told. Swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They took the form of a beast.
Some ideas.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, Way has got some ideas, which we will cook up a bit later for you. But in any case, welcome back to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a moment. Anyway, up next we've got Absolute Province up against Pandora's CodeRed. So yeah. All right, let me just quickly get that overlay sorted. It's Absolute Province in the left corner and Pandora's CodeRed in the right-hand corner. So Absolute Province will have the first pick.
Yeah, you can just tell from Scarpy's voice he's missing the tournament lobby.
Bro, heavy much. Heavy much.
I feel a little bit like a jilted lover. It's like she left us at the altar.
Oh,
Now we have to wait for her to come back at some time.
yeah, well,
Wait, next year.
next year, yeah, indeed so, bro. Because I mean, we've got the tournament lobbies planned for the big official tournaments. So let's see. Hopefully, Moonton does grace us with that, and I would hella appreciate that a lot. But any case, ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly look at the bans. It is well, Xbox Zushin and Lance and Glue. So good luck and have fun to both teams, and we are good to start.
Missing one player
Oh, look at
from
Crack.
PCR.
Look at Crack, bro, putting it out so nicely. Typing out so beautifully.
Yeah, so we'll just wait for the one more player to join us. We are a little bit delayed, we know. It happens when one game follows the next. Like yesterday, for instance, Scarpy was one of the longest matches I've seen in a while. I think it was the first two games, both of them went into the late 20s.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not very often you see games going to the late 20s these days.
No, bro.
Not with the current meta that we have.
Well, yeah, I mean the current meta now. We did mention it in the previous game, Saint Dynasty up against Rutilant Sun. So if any one of you wants to know who got the W's there, please just rewind and go and check it out. It's a very entertaining match. A little bit one-sided, not what we expected. We expected a little bit of more of a balanced lineup. But hey, look, it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't.
Yeah. Just speaking about the current meta, I wonder if Moonturn's going to make certain corrections to it. They have over the last few years, not even seasons, the last few years, they've been pushing for the game to finish in quicker time frames. They're aiming for matches to be completed between the 12 to 14-minute mark. That's their goal. The question I have is, did it swing too far in terms of it getting finished early? Because one of the things that you want to be able to do if you're playing a matchup, especially in the five-man situation, is if you lose the early game, you want there to be a phase in the match where you have the potential to come back. Because it's not every time you're going to have an even early game. Somebody's going to win the early game, someone's going to lose the early game. Right now, with the current style of play, if you lose the early game, it's very difficult to come back from that particular situation.
Yeah, indeed so, bro. I think, look, I'm going to agree with you. I feel, in my opinion, it's a little bit too far swung. Trying to get the matches to end a lot quicker. But, bro, I'm going to share your sentiment, especially if you look at the other MOBAs, right? Like the likes of Dota, the likes of League, etc., right? The only way how they can potentially extend the match and give you that mid swing of the game is to add an additional two turrets, and that's just in front of the nexus, if we can call it that, bro. But yeah, without further ado, both teams are in the lobby and ready to go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. This speaking of time extension on matches, bro. Yeah, you have it.
Yeah. Yes, yesterday I started the second game stream, I think almost at 9. That's how long some of the matches were running. It was utterly insane. But with that being said, we get to the chess section of this game. It's where the teams, the leaders, the coaches, the captains, everybody is going to be putting their minds up against one another to try and give themselves that winning edge.
Yeah, and speaking of Royal Chicken, banning out the CC as the first ban for this absolute province. Pandora's CodeRed responding with the Alice, bro. I have to say, look, the Alice, the new revamped Alice, bro, I'm loving this new Alice, and I like what she brings to the table. And it seems like the teams nowadays don't like what she brings to the table, because she's pretty much almost auto-banned.
Yeah, she's unstoppable right now. Especially when it hits the mid to late game as an initiator. My goodness. Having such a large AoE stun is incredible.
Well, bro, the Alice, she always brings back so much nostalgia. And I'm going to revert back to the wasted potential days, bro, when you just picked up Alice and started playing her in the jungle. And we were like, what is this guy doing with Alice in the jungle? and it worked. And I can remember you only got to play her for like 3 or 4 days in the jungle, and then she was no longer meta. The jungle with the jungle rework. Can you remember that, bro?
Yeah. Well, Moonton, give it. Moonton, take it away. And all our plans sometimes can get thrown out the window. Though, speaking of plans and our royalty here, the royal chicken, not just any chicken. Would you go for a Yuzong pick this early on in the game?
Well, looking at the CC ban, yeah, bro, why not? Well, Pandora's CodeRed pretty much played into that because CC was banned and then they banned out the Lapu. Lapu against the Yuzong is generally your skill matchup, and you would like to pick up a Lapu against the Yuzong. So pretty much, yeah, I would have actually gone for the Yuzong first pick. But bro, looking at different heroes that could have been picked up, like the Lance, the YSS, etc. Yeah, YSS probably not the best, but yeah, it is what it is. Oh, there we go. They Absolute Province does secure the YSS and the Gacha. Grip Reaper at 18 did pick up the Grok, and Kiro did pick up Farza.
The combos coming out from both teams right now, I'm loving. You've got that backline dive to deal with the Farsa, though they wouldn't have known that that was going to be the case. Farsa into a Yuzong is not the best of matchups, granted, but having that that Grok Farsa combo, if you can time it just right, it's going to be excellent.
Let me guess, it's General Chow calling you, bro.
Yeah, actually, it's a group call chat thing. We know. Yeah. From what are the group chats?
Any case, Team Merlin did secure the Hayabusa for PCR, and Fury missing out on the ban for this final ban for the side of PCR. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is only a best of one series. And up next, we've got Immortal Order against Dozen Dimes after this matchup. Absolute Province banning out the Arlord.
Yeah, Arlot would have been the next pick that would go into the XP lane. If you think back to the South Africa-Turkey game, Turkey picked up the Arlot into the Yuzong. South Africa went for that early Yuzong pick, and then Turkey were like, oh, let's just pick up the Arlot. Even though it's not the easiest of matchups for an Arlot, if you're a skilled Arlot player, you're able to use the minions to avoid a lot of the damage output from that Yuzong and then get him when his skills on cooldown.
Yeah.
In those in-between phases.
Agree, bro. Now looking at Absolute Province, I don't know how I missed this. Pan 65 picking up Ruby, and Blank 123 picking up the Lunox. Fury going with the Aerithal. Bro, how could I miss this? Blank is well, how can we call it? What was that? The Roll Roulette team member of mine, and we won the Roll Roulette. So shout out to Blank if he gets to watch the stream. DM me if you hear out your shout out, and yeah, just special shout out. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, into the second match of the evening we go. The draft has been set. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button as we are going to jump into this matchup.
And not often we get to see Blank playing mid lane.
No.
Actually, I've never seen Blank play mid lane.
Well, we're going to see him play mid lane. Play mid lane now.
And, well, I think the most picked mid laner at this current stage is the Lunox.
Indeed so, bro, especially against a solid tanky lineup. Not that PCR has it. However, they do have a Terizla and they do have a Grok. But yeah, Lunox with that ultimate of hers, bro, can do a lot. Can do a lot.
Yeah, it's also the escapability that she possesses with the Brilliance form as well. Difficult to dive onto, because if you've got that fast fingers, you can set to the Brilliance form and then just avoid, because that Brilliance form lasts quite long.
Yeah, indeed so. And Jaren the Grey, bro, your match where you lost the other night was streamed. So sorry, bro, but unfortunately it is what it is. Group stages, we're not streaming all of the matches, so it's only selective few. But in any case, if your team does make it through, we will be streaming all of the playoffs. But looking at this early game rotation coming in from PCR, they're looking at getting a shutdown onto Pan 65.
Yeah, it's what you do when you have a Fasa. But when you make that rotation, it leaves this to happen to your jungler. Team Merlin, lots of pressure, manages to dash back to safety. And YS is taking full advantage of this. This is why you and I were talking about this off stream. We were talking about how in the pro scenes right now, everything revolves around mid lane control, because the moment you can get control of the mid lane wave, most teams, 90% of the teams are going for these early jungle invades onto the small camp.
Yeah, indeed, bro. I mean, look, and we were quite late to this meta, especially this early game aggression, or well, entire match aggression meta, bro. But yeah, it seems like IASF needed to wake something up in South Africa.
Yeah. Those matches definitely gave a lot of teams an education. We're watching 2 games in a row where that rotation came to the forefront. Saints did that excellently well in their match up against Rutilant Suns, and now we're watching the same thing come through from Absolute Province here against PCR. This style of rotation is there to punish any team that decides to gank a side lane.
Indeed so, bro. And I mean, look, it is very refreshing to see that the mage and the roam is sticking as an absolute unit. I mean, how many times have we said that those two should rotate together? And nobody was listening. Like, literally nobody was listening.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see this control between players and teams right now. As you can see, Gruff just making sure he has the level 4 turtle, hasn't been started up. The question is PCR going to try to contest for this? They don't have that ability to contest without the Terizla being in there. But there's the engagement onto Grok. They managed to control him up. The Avatar of Guardian comes out as the counter to Fasa, who has to reposition Terizla. For that, Revitalize is trying to get something done here. Or at least with that, in the midst of the Revitalize. The Revitalize coming out from Gato, keeping the team alive and forcing the fight even further.
Yeah, and Blank 1, 2, 3 securing a kill with that Lunox. But yeah, beautiful set coming in with that Mountain Shocker from the YSS, bro. Just unfortunate that the Grok got caught out, and Blank 1, 2, 3 picks up pretty much a double kill, a late double kill onto the Aerosol.
Yeah. Continuing with this jungle invade, Gato frontlining once more, but Fasa with the feathered airstrike, but there's that brilliance form we were talking about. Shadow kill comes in, and they manage to take down 2. Fasa's positioning there, Kuro with that setup for the team allowed them to just alleviate what was constant pressure in their jungle and give themselves a bit of breathing space.
Yeah, so just before the 4-minute mark, Absolute Province, they do have, well, let's just call it 2k gold lead. However, we do see the engagement coming in from Team Merlin onto Lunox. However, Lunox would be able to escape the clutches there. However, Royal Chicken with a Yuzong is there. He did come in with his Royal Black Dragon, Royal Chicken form there, and take down with the Faza with his passive.
Nice timing from him. So important to get your side lane rotations on point. As you can see, most of the action will always be mid lane centered in this current meta. So having your side laners being able to provide that extra person in the mid lane is going to be very vital. And as you can see, once you control that, you're looking at mini invades happening all the way across the shore here. Absolute Province continuing. Oh, what a Mountain Shocker coming out as Royal Chicken picks up yet another. I don't think Thomas would have been very happy about that. It's like, I used all my skills. You just jumped in once. And you got the kill. What is this?
Oh, bro, you know, KSing is a real thing in Mlbb, bro. But yeah, just to revert back to that solo kill coming in from Ruby onto the Aerothal. That was a beautiful I'm offended onto the Aerothal. And just zoning out the Aerothal and winning the battle on the Aerothal. However, we do see the engagement on the Duke. Will Terizla get taken down? We do see the Petrify getting popped, and Royal Chicken is going to be clucking about that kill.
Yeah. He's securing our kills, shall we say. A bit of a trade-off in terms of turrets. but it is the side of Absolute Province who have this ability to try and take the mid lane as well. I thought Hayabusa would have went in with the Shadow Kill to try and clear the wave, opting not to do that. Now goes in with the Shadow Kill, won't have the quad shadows to escape, is gonna get taken out. There's the tectonic charge into the feathered airstrike, and that's what the team of PCR wanted. Royal Chicken, he's being chased down, he's got a mega kill, and the shutdown, the shutdown went to Fury, which is who PCR had been hoping that extra gold goes to.
Indeed so, Brian. I just wanted to mention, just before Royal Chicken got taken down, currently, as of late, well, not as of late, but this last few seasons, it's been ideally your XP laners that you want to get out of the lanes as quick as possible, because, I mean, you know, if your XP laner is going to have a good time, your team is going to have a good time.
Agreed. Though, in this current patch, because we're playing fighters on the gold lane, it's rotations from both sides that are going to be vital. Especially when you're playing a fighter on the gold lane, you can use those side lane rotations very nicely. Like, you can decide where you want to go.
Yeah, bro. I mean, look, in theory, if you look at it on paper, it's poor mage, bro. But oh my word! The combination of the passive and turret damage onto Hayabusa takes Hayabusa down one more time. Team Millen currently sitting at 0, 4, and 3.
Yeah, having not a nice time on this Hayabusa, especially since that early game invade. Now they're trying to chase down the Duke, who's gonna get dragged back in with the arm offended. This is gonna give the opportunity here for the third and final turtle to go the way of Absolute Province. They're in an absolutely good position. Fossa trying to change that out, but has to be careful. I mean, you can't show your face too much, especially without that mid lane turret being there to protect you. Black Dragon form in the mix already. Royal Chicken is on the hunt. He doesn't want to be dinner. He wants to eat dinner. But the repositioning here from PCR keeping them safe.
And for those of you wondering, that was a PUBG reference, right? Winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah. Well, the guy has such a wonderful name. So I think we should have a vote in the chat. Best name ever.
Oh, bro. Royal Chicken. Royal Chicken. Anyway, alright, we do see that Absolute Province gets scouted out by the Aerosol. We do see Bob the Builder going in trying to get that taunt. The Mountain Shockers off the mark. However, Grok does walk straight into it. The track. Oh, my word. Oh, I missed that. Sorry, bro. Take over.
What a feathered airstrike coming in. The shadow kill. The turnaround. It's a 3-for-1 kill advantage going the way. But oh, the Dark Ultimate comes in blank. It's like, gets the shutdown, is on a killing spree. Since the opportunity, Irithel was just a little bit early getting into lane there. Not thinking about, one of the lines I always say, it's one of my more famous lines. It's not who you can see that can kill you. It's who you can't see that can kill you. You always got to be worried about who's not being given vision off on the map.
Yeah, bro, but that was a beautiful ult coming in from Grip Reaper, bro. Just pretty much setting that up for PCR, getting them that 3-for-2 exchange. However, Barzal does pop Berry and jumps into the bird form to escape the clutches of Absolute Province, but you should be careful, or Kuro should be careful about the rotations here.
Yeah. So the game is in favor of Absolute Province, but not massively so. Granted, they have this map control, but the gold lead is not so significant. And if you're comparing compositions here, especially having an Irithel in your team who could be in a bit of trouble here, if the Dark Ultimate comes out as there's the taunt from Gato. Irithel is just trying to reposition, gets back to a bit of safety. There's the shadow kill into the mix, but the Revitalize keeping Gato 100% alive. Lots of skills being committed and space created here by Absolute Province just to try to secure this neutral objective to take this first Lord of the game.
Yeah, bro, I don't agree with the Gato Gacha being so aggressive in that mid lane. But we do see the feathered airstrike coming in from Parza. The Avatar of God lands onto Chirizla. Lulos gets the kill and Fury gets the kill onto Gato Gacha. However, it's a double kill for Blank 1, 2, 3. Will we see a follow-up? Oh, Fan 65 secures the kill onto Irithel. That's a 3-for-1 exchange and the first Lord of the match going in favor of Absolute Province. Oh,
Oh, nice pick off there from Team Merlin as he gets a return kill for his team. And with that, the ability to potentially defend this, I don't think PCR would be too worried or nervous if they lose their tier 2 turrets at this stage in the game. They would want to have, obviously, the tier 2 turrets, and if you're given a choice, but you wouldn't be too scared about it because your draft scales so well into the late game. They just have to keep this more or less around this line. Being 2 to 3k gold behind is not good, but not significant.
Yeah, it's not significant, bro. That just shows that anything can happen and you can still turn it. However, we do see the taunt up onto Earthal. Lunox gets that kill onto Earthal once more. The Avatar Guardian lands onto Grok, and oh my word. Faza does finish off Pan 65 and Grok gets a kill onto Bob the Builder. However, will we see that shadow form coming? Oh, yes, sir. From the Hayabusa, gets a shutdown kill. Or shall we say, our kill from Hero. That's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah. This Farsa has been, these ultimates have been so on point throughout the course of this matchup. Absolute Province, they're going to have to be a little bit careful going forward, because you took the Lord, right? And if you think about it, you just took one tier 2 turret with that. And with the Irithel on the enemy team, granted, Irithel's been playing a little bit aggressively for my taste, and getting picked off a few more times than you would expect the marksman to get picked off. But the longer this goes on, the more in favor of PCR this is going to swing in terms of draft, because they don't have an MM.
Yeah, bro, agreed. I wanted to mention the same. Oh, that feather dash shot coming in from Faza, finishing off blank 1, 2, 3. That's Faza's positioning. Bro, that's the key point, especially with the Faza. You want to have that positioning spot on. And bro, like you said, the longer this goes, the more in favor it is going to turn into PCR's hands.
All of this depends on how well Absolute Province can deal with this next Lord. Once again, they managed to secure the mid lane turret. They used the Feathered Airstrike. It will be available in time for the Lord. The question is now, can Absolute Province manage their waves in order to create the space that's necessary for them to secure this Lord? They do spot out Team Merlin. Will we see the taunt coming through? And yeah, just, the Mountain Shocker just not catching up, but they time the quad shadows. There's the shadow kill, but Hayabusa says there's no way he's going to escape this. And without the jungler, this should be Lord. All PCR can do right now is just trade it for a top lane turret.
Wow, bro, they're running us an absolute unit. It was a 4-1 split, bro. My question is, will Absolute Province be able to defend this, bro? Because currently PCR is storming. Okay, yeah, no. This could be a bad position. Come, Royal Chicken. Let's go. Black Dragon form. Let's go.
There's the armor offender. The Avatar of Guardian not on point, but the Black Dragon form is just chasing everybody down. And this is with the Lord. Meanwhile, there's a backdoor angle being created by YSS. Has an opportunity. It's going to be a shutdown onto the Farsa. The Lord will be up. There's the Shadow. Oh, what a winter crown from YSS. This should be
game set match.
I think.
Yeah, game set match. PCR sacrificed themselves, bro. Look, honestly, if Hayabusa could have entertained them a little bit longer at the Lord, bro, it might have been different outcome. But bro, yeah, PCR pretty much throwing this one.
Yeah, the luck is on here. They're trying to defend, but there's the game going the way of Absolute Province.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We're going to jump into the final round of the evening. The teams are waiting for us. Royal Chicken, not being the chicken dinner, picking up MVP with that Yuzong, and Kiro picking up the MVP with the Faza. So GG's well played to both teams, but Absolute Province just coming out the better team of this group's matches.
Right. So while we're heading into the next lobby, just give me a second. I'll be back with you now.
100%. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to set the lobby. It will take a second or two. The teams are waiting for us, and enjoy the pause screen. You will see I did put up yesterday's scores. It's only Group D that needs to be updated. But yeah, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, a quick pause for the cause.
For its
some pain in their life, you can see it in their eyes. They're changing at night, underneath the dark skies. Forced to become something darker inside. You can feel the switch, feel the shift in the tide. They keep desiring something that's more inspiring. Their brains rewiring, old thoughts they start expiring. They're never tiring, no, now they feel the fight in them. They feel the fire sweep, take over entirely. They feel it growing, it's showing the feelings. They keep overflowing, always stoking the fire. Adrenaline is overloading, hit the mat like a fighter. They never let up, never throwing, giving to their desires. No, they keep working on their focus. They feel the temperature rise, now there is no place to hide. You better dig deep inside and find anything, everything that you could ever need. Every breath that you breathe, dedicated to believe.
Streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. Going to the streets that they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would feast one day on their bones. They took the form of a beast. 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 They're all gone now, so you better watch out. Reborn now, took a new form now. Straight beast underneath what you see. They gon' eat anything, everything, make them bleed, cut them deep. A villain origin story, tangled with glory, now it's looking stormy. Off in the distance, hear the roaring, thunder pouring, there ain't no ignoring. That they called home, not for the weak, left out in the cold. Watched all the sheep do what they're told, swore they would on their bones.
Right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Like I promised, that wouldn't have been a very long pause. So yeah, we're busy with the lobby bans. IO banning out Alice and CC, and Dozen Dimes banning out Grok and Lapu Lapu. So good luck and have fun to both teams as we are ready to start this matchup.
Yeah, so the drafting phase we go. This is one of my favorite parts in the game. I know many people don't like it. I personally love this.
Oh, thank you, bro,
This
for
part of the
sorting out
game.
the poll for me.
Yeah.
I saw you just started doing that.
Thorns remain.
Your
Should
team
petals
is
fall.
banning.
All right, Immortal Order banning out Lancelot as a first pick. I mean, it's quite expected, Lancelot. Yeah, let's see.
Your team is
And
banning.
Dozen Dimes responding with that Xbox ban, bro. Generally, in the past, you knew if you ban an Xbox, you were potentially playing against Immortal Order. But Xbox has also become one of those meta bans.
Yeah. Especially with the tankier compositions, because when he gets that overheat passive up and running, it doesn't matter if you're a tank or not a tank. True damage is true damage.
Yeah, true damage is true damage, bro. And I mean, look, especially with oh, my game crashed. Lovely. Sorry, chat.
Yeah, there's a reason why the PC app has a 3.9 rating on the Play Store for Mobile Legends. There's a reason for the 3.9.
That's crazy, bro. So you can just radio the bans at this moment. I am loading back in.
Right, so far we've got Lance and Fredrin, Amon and Xbog the bans, Immortal Order picking up Angela as their first pick. Will we see that Alice come through? Is the question. That
No,
combines
Alice.
very, very nicely.
Remember,
Oh,
Alice.
yes, lobby ban, that was.
Lobby ban,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
But there's,
Xborg, especially with his rework, on his first skill, if his bar is charged full, he does extra damage. But yeah, nonetheless, looking at the rest of the bands, this is cooked. Clint and Lunox once more. Lunox is a favorite.
I'm loving the Lunox pick, especially into once the Angela is picked up, right? There's a couple of options you can use whenever Angela gets picked up early. My personal favorite is just to pick up Kadita, because then it's goodbye Angela anytime Angela shows her face anywhere, because that's who Kadita is going to be going for. Or you can try a Farsa as well, that works fairly well. But another option is Lunox, because when you pick up an Angela, you need to have heroes who combine with her, especially your XP laner and Roma, and potentially the jungle as well. And so that would mean you need some tankiness to add to the little bit of extra beef that Angela's going to give you. And what suits a Lunox better than those tasty HP bars?
Yeah, bro. I mean, like, Hector picking up Franco. The question is, doesn't Dime play this Franco is beautiful? I mean, we've seen a lot of beautiful
Yes.
Franco plays, bro.
Yeah, this guy is actually pretty decent on the Franco. This is one of two Kenyan teams that is in the Iron Gauntlet. It is Tribe, a very, very strong team. I enjoyed their matches yesterday. And Dime Dozen is the second Kenyan side. This guy, Hector, I think is Kenya's #1 Franco. The last time I cast a game for them, which was quite a while back in a previous tournament, the chat here from Kenya was like, "You need to check this guy out." And I even this was quite a while ago, Scarpy. I joined the Kenyan stream. They have a MLBB YouTube channel, which I do enjoy. I joined them to cast a couple of their matches as well. It was quite fun to do that for the Kenyan scene.
Okay, interesting, bro. I did not know that. Billion picks up the Baxia for the side of Dozen Dime. So Mr. Anti-Heal himself will be into the mix for Dozen Dime. Jake's showing us Charizla. This is difficult, bro. I honestly, I don't know how I feel about Charizla as of late, bro. Honestly, I don't like the Charizla so much anymore. Oh, Shroomsy, going to go with one of his voted picks. Remember how he impressed us with his Tigreal in the beginning, bro.
Your team is picking.
Yes. Well, it will combine very nicely with the penalty zone, but this is the problem with certain hero picks that you get. A Soul Crusher going for that hard counter. Though, here's the thing, right? You got a Franco. So Franco's ideal position is roam, obviously, right? That means you're going to be putting the Akai on the XP lane, which forces Dime Dozen to be ultra conservative throughout the in-between phases in the game, because Akai will have to be rotating quite often in order to just be there to use that heavy spin to deal with the implosion.
Yeah, chat, I know. Let's quickly fact check. Bro, are you sure you want to say Akai? Because I don't see Akai in this matchup here. My game froze. Again.
Oh, there's an Akai. It's the last pick
Yeah.
for the side of Dime Dozen.
No wonder my game froze. I'm stuck on 28 seconds. Emulator, let's go.
There's always going to be some sort of an issue when it comes to these emulators. I'm not a fan of emulators, but what else can we do if we try to stream a mobile game?
Bro, not much. Just survive through it, I suppose. Patience is the key word here.
Yes. Patience is the key word. Though a nice play from Shrooms. He's just trying to drag back that wave while we wait for Scarpy just to reset everything here on his end, and then you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Already, with the Franco especially, you have that potential to be slightly more aggressive than usual in the jungle. This is the first game. Oh, nice ball back here by Shrooms. He's going to set it up. Will he be able to? Angela got the lock on. They do manage to secure this. So nice play. Oh, the iron hook drags Shrooms back. He flickers out. Is he going to get taken down? No, he escapes with 1 HP. I was just about to say we haven't seen that mid lane battle yet. This is the third game and no mid lane. The only game with no mid lane battle, but apparently not. We had a nice setup there on the mid lane battle coming in.
Well, yeah, viewers did not get to see that. Sorry, my emulated crashed, chat. So, as you can see, we're in the loading screen and we will catch up very shortly.
Yeah, SpongeBob has not been kind to Scalpy.
No, bro, and I've never been a fan of SpongeBob. I know I'm going to receive a lot of hate. It's like that Vinland Saga conversation we never finished, bro.
Yeah. I love me a SpongeBob. The song's been stuck in my head for many, many years. Okay, so as I'm sure you can start to see right now, we're into the first neutral objective of the game. Immortal Order have picked up 2 kills very early on. Jake's in position to zone everyone away. They are waiting for Akai to join in because we've got a full team from Immortal Order across. There's a hard card coming out. Penalty zone landing in. Akai is into the mix. Does try to get the setup. The implosion comes through here, but Shroomsy could be in a lot of danger. Will he get taken down? Yes, he is. Basha secures the kill. Muffin now is going to be chased in. He used the quad shadows already. He's going to get taken out. Akai, does he use that heavy spin already? There's the pullback, and it's going to be a triple kill. And the turtle as well, going the way of Dime Dozen.
Bro, this is not looking good for Immortal Order so early on, bro. Not with that triple kill. You don't want the Baxia fed early on, bro.
Yeah, he counters. Well, the thing is, with the side of Immortal Order, they have to be patient. They've got the Leslie, they've got the Hayabusa, you've got as your late game damage dealers, and we all know how late game Leslie is. It's going to take a while before she comes online.
It's going to take a long time to come online, bro. Especially with the gold laners receiving that nerve on the lane itself. The items, it takes a little bit longer to pick up, bro. That's why the fighters became meta on the gold lane.
Yes. It's exactly why the fighters became meta on the gold lane. Immortal Order, in terms of strategy right now, they need to slow the game down a little bit. Don't stress too much about those neutral objectives. It's going to be difficult to achieve with a Basha, with an Akai, with a Franco around. Lunox there to dish out the damage. The same with a Clint. You're going to have to be patient. Sacrifice some of those neutral objectives. Cover that gold up by pushing lanes. And then, there's going to be the shadow kill here onto Clint. He's going to survive this for the most part. That shield coming in very clutch. The snipe from Leslie not being able to secure the kill. And those are quite a few skills being committed before this first turtle of the second turtle of the match. And there's going to be the blow up here to Shroomsy. Penalty zone, however, manages to catch everybody, but the heavy spin comes out. Nice play from Nairobi as he managed to use the Brilliance form just to get back to a bit of safety. Basha just dishing out the damage here onto Muffin, forcing Muffin back to base. And it's like, do you know the Muffin man? I'm sending you his address, pushing him back to the base.
Do you know the Muffin man? Not the Muffin man, we put the gumdrop on the button. Anyway, second turtle of the match does go in favor of Doesn't Dime. However, the shadow kill, quad shadow kill coming in from Hayabusa, but Lunox takes down the Hayabusa in return. Shroomsy on low HP there. He needs to retreat. Baxia is currently chasing him and does stun him up, and that should... Oh! What a push coming in from Shroomsy, and that would take the shutdown kill onto Baxia.
Yeah, nice second skill there, saying, I feel like I'm gonna die, you're coming with me. Some kamikaze action there underneath the turret. Meanwhile, Angela doing what, this is what I love to see from Angela players, is seizing the opportunity, because you don't have to be there at the team fight all the time, just seizing the opportunity to control the map by pushing the mid lane in.
Yeah, that is true, bro. And I mean, especially with Angela being able to rotate so quickly, she doesn't even need to rotate. She just needs to fall back under a turret and pop that ult, that hard guard, because it's up every 15 seconds.
Yeah, this game is fairly even right now. Quad Shadow is coming out from Muffin. Oh, but he goes straight into the bloody hunt. But Angelic Fury is there to save him. If he doesn't thank her for that rescue, my word, if there was ever a rescue, that was the moment.
Yeah, bro. Clutch plays coming in from Angelic Fury. Shout out to Angelic Fury with that clutch save. Anyway, Immortal Order does secure the first tier 1 turret in favor of them in the gold lane.
Well, that's the map opening up a little bit in their favor, and especially on this side of the map where the turtle is going to spawn up. Hayabusa trying to get something done, uses the Quad Shadow to his advantage. There's the pullback onto Baksha, but the chase is on here. Lunox into the mix, casting out the Dark Arbiter, but the penalty zone catches up to everybody. There's the Shadow Kill. Brilliant throw from Lunox, trying to reposition the heavy spin, cancelling everything out. The turnaround here. Can Immortal Order get something done? They managed to pick up a 1-for-1 exchange, but they're all so low. Dime doesn't. They managed to secure another, but it's Hayabusa. He's into the mix. He's turning this fight around here. The hook comes in from Franco. Buffett, he escapes, but there's going to be immune with that setup for the team. It's a 4-for-2 exchange. Big old brawl in the mid lane. Could have went either direction. Immortal Order coming out on top.
Definitely in favor of Immortal Order there, bro. That was showing that slow discipline that you want to see, especially against a lineup that doesn't Dimes have, bro. Yeah, and Leslie pretty much is starting to get her item.
Yeah, this is going to be the game-changing moment. Hardguard coming out a bit early here onto the Hayabusa just to provide that little bit of protection so they can secure this objective. There's going to be the implosion play into the penalty zone. Clint, however, is there in the backline dishing out the damage as they do manage to take down one Immortal Order. Can they take down another? They've got the Shadow Kill, Sky Piercer procking, and the heals from Angela keeping the team alive.
Yeah, Immortal Order, they should keep their confidence here, bro, and not get overconfident, because the tides have turned in favor of IO. It's at the 8.5 minute mark. It is 4k gold lead in favor of them with the 3-kill advantage. And map control, let's not forget about the map control.
Yeah, now the discipline in terms of engagement has to be on the side of Dime Dozen. They will have to, right now, make sure that Lunox is in the midst of that any engagement that they want to have. Lunox is their real counter to the hard guard coming through. So they have to keep Lunox there in the mix. As you can see, the moment Lunox wasn't there, the team fight swung very heavily in the favor of Immortal Order. But when Lunox is around, it's not so secure. Akai getting the poke damage onto Terrorista, Angela staying very safe. Immortal Order using this 4-1 split rotation, allowing Hayabusa to just free farm and push lanes and establish the map control like that. Leslie staying fairly close, has the vision to clear this mid lane wave as well. Hayabusa now being chased down, has the Quad Shadows to escape. A Dime doesn't. They want to go on a bit of a hunt here, but I think having second thoughts on this, especially that we've passed the 30-second timer for this next objective, the next Lord being up.
Yeah, we do see the hard guard, well, potentially to go onto Terizla. However, we do see the engagement onto Akai. We do see the Shadow Kill gets committed onto Akai. Will they be able to get him to stun down? The heavy spin has been committed, and oh my word. Oh, but off screen, we do see Leslie and the combo of Tigreal getting that solo kill in the bot lane. Lunox is onto them as well. Will they be able to kill the Lunox here? Or will Lunox be able to defend this tier 2 turret?
Should get the defense going, but with all of this plays happening, Immortal Order now have the space that they need to try and take this Lord. Though Leslie and Hayabusa may not be the two that you'd want in there. Franco may try to make his move around, but the zoning done from Terizla very much on point, just keeping the damage dealers safe.
Yeah, indeed so, bro. Yeah, it's at the almost at the 11-minute mark. Not much has changed. It's now 4 kills advantage in favor of IO with a 5k gold.
Yeah, so this gives them a very strong position heading into this the start of the late game, because late game's around the 12-minute mark. Engagement here onto the Lunox, and she's blown up before she could even hit that brilliance form. So no Lunox available for the defense, but there are 3 holy shields available for the side of Dime Dozen. Dealing with the Lord on one end, which is pretty decent. The holy shield still standing here in the mid lane. They should be able to mount the defense and survive this phase of the game.
What a beautiful flicker hook coming in from Franco, securing that kill onto the Tigreal. Oh, another hook onto Terizla. Will Terizla get caught out here? We do see the Revitalize gets popped. However, the heavy spin is into the mix as well. Will they be able to get Terizla here? Hard guard is onto Terizla, and he secures the kill. Oh, shall we say Angela secures our kill on the Terizla.
Yeah, with the setup here, as they've managed to crack open the base of the second wave to Immortal Order. Leslie should be able to secure the next tier 2 turret, and as we know, we're past the 12-minute mark, so no holy shields will be available. The opportunity is here within the next minute and a half, just under, for the side of Immortal Order to get themselves into position to get the second Lord. They've got the map control, right? It's all about managing the waves, at least not pushing the waves in, just allowing it to free push out, forcing the side of Dime Dozen out of the base, and then pushing it at just the right time.
Yeah, it is generally at that 32nd minute or that 30-second mark that you want to get that opposite lane pushed in, just to get that extra pressure onto that tier 3 turret to secure the objective. But however, we do see Immortal Order is trying to get the plays on here in the jungle of Dozen Dime. Akai gets caught out at this moment. However, Hayabusa still has that shadow kill to play.
Yeah. Right now, it's going to be the name of the game for Immortal Order is keep Leslie safe. As long as you can keep Leslie safe, you can keep dishing out the damage and getting your team set up for what you need to do. You can see that's the theme here, as Angelic Fury is helping Immune to push that top lane in. They're setting up nice slow push there. The side of Dime Dozen, they're going to have to take a little bit of a risk, because the defense for them will be a little bit on the difficult side. Not impossible, a little bit on the difficult side because of the team fight spells that Immortal Order have. So the question is, can they get close enough to contest for us? They're opting not to. They're backing their defensive capabilities.
Yeah, bro, and also you've got the penalty zone and the implosion play in play here for Immortal Order. However, we do see Dozen Dime going for that objective in the top lane, securing the first tier 1 turret. However, Baxia gets taken down by the Hayabusa, and so that's one less member to defend.
Yeah, it's just fortunate that at this stage in the game, the spawn timers are not that long. So by the time the Lord spawns up and makes its way, we should see the Lion on that Basha into the mix. Oh, what the flicker bloody hand comes through. The penalties all being committed just to disrupt that skill onto the Leslie, who somebody you don't really want to have dead with the Lord battling down the mid lane. Waves aren't exactly synced up. This could create the opportunity for the side of Dime Dozen to defend this. They do get a nice pull onto the Lord. The waves have spawned up. Shadow Kill does come out here. Hayabusa back to safety. The Lord not being allowed to crash in onto the base. But Basha is in a lot of danger, but they finally take down the clip. Then the setup is in there. Nice implosion play coming through. There is that opportunity. It's just one player left to defend. Just the Franco. Now the lock is onto the base, and they can secure a victory for Immortal Order.
Yeah, GG's well played, ladies and gentlemen. And that also concludes the final match of the evening for us. Yeah, tomorrow night we've also got a few matches. We've got 3 matches before we head into the playoffs this evening. So yeah, I think pretty much certain groups, certain teams will be going through. But yeah, Immune picking up the MVP with that Leslie for the side of IO, and Soul Crusher with the Akai picking up the MVP for dozen dimes. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Please hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and come join us back tomorrow night as we will have some more action before we start with the playoffs and knockout rounds in this weekend, or on this weekend. My bad. So, hey, is this the moment why we say Vinland Saga Season 2 is bad?
Yeah, I actually got a bit of hate for that, right? But I'm in agreement with you. Like, I wanted to see more action, and then suddenly our main character there, our Thorfinn, just decided he doesn't want to fight. And I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Fight somebody.
Yeah, well, bro, we did receive a lot of hate that evening, but nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, on that bombshell, thank you for joining and thank you for watching. We appreciate the support. As you all know, this is all for the love of the community and the love of the game. Batteries on.